Welcome Commanders, Peert here, and I'm going to show you how to make a concept map for the game Drop Zone. Now I'm here in the Battle.net app because Drop Zone doesn't have their own editor, so I'm going to use the StarCraft 2. Now before we begin, those outside America may have to switch their region to America and launch the game, because the editor will ask you to log in the first time around, and it's connected to the database of the American server. But after that, you don't really need to, so you can switch back to your own region and launch the editor. Now that the editor is open, the first thing you'll see are these editor tips. You can press the OK button if you don't feel like reading them, and you can find them again in this help. Another thing the editor does immediately is make an untitled map on the planet Brochure, but there are so many other planets, so we're going to create a new document here. Now you may want to switch over to an arcade map, because it doesn't use standard things, nor is it a mod. Clicking next will let you choose the dependencies. Now Wings of Liberty is the default one, but I'm usually going with Legacy of the Void as it contains the other two as well. By clicking next again you can configure the map. However, I'm going to leave everything as it is because I used these settings for my core site map. Clicking OK, the game generates the map for you. In the terrain module, the first thing I did for my core site map was change the brush to the water brush and selecting chart 1 or chart 2, because these are not water, but as you can see, lava. And now this is only going to look good if you're on a map surrounded by lava or by water, where you can actually use water. So I'm gonna fill in the map with lava and be right back. Now that we have lava onto the map, we're going to go over to the left and change the height below 8. So the lava is below the base height of the map, as you can see here below. Before we actually use the lava for anything, I'm going to go into the top menu here and select Map Symmetry. Now I like a diagonal symmetry of both diagonals, like this, but you can go with anything you like, or you can make the map by hand. As you can see here, any changes I make will affect the other sides as well. Now that our map is symmetrically bound, we're going to go over to the left here and click on the cliff brush. I'll mainly be using lower cliff here, however you may find yourself using not only the raise cliff, but all the other options as well. And these two are remove and add ramp. As for the cliff type, there's the cliff 0 and there's the cliff 1, and from experience I know that on Char, the cliff 1 is human or handmade, and the cliff 0 is natural. Over on the left again you can change the cursor size, usually I have it around 6, and the speed, which I also tend to have around medium. And if you just drag all over the map, it makes these nice things. After you've satisfied yourself with a nice pattern or just randomly doodle, we can go into the nitty-gritty details. Now in the middle here you're going to need connection, meaning that you will have to raise the cliff again right around here on both sides, but as it's symmetrical I only need to do it once. Now that we have a nice looking map, we can go over to the left again to add some creep or an alternate texture to show where the cover should be. So here's some creep, and here's some textures. Now the main difference is that creep cannot change color, so on darker maps it's not a great idea. Now this is basically all you really need to know inside the terrain editor. However, if you want to do more things with it, you can feel free to experiment yourself, which I highly would recommend doing. Now for the next part we're going to go over to the Units tab, and we're going to search for Zelnaga, or just Zel. These are resources called Zelnaga Towers, and they grant you vision in StarCraft 2. And you can place some here, and some here. That's basically all the units we'll need for now. Alternatively, you can go back into the terrain module and you can add texture just around these Zelnaga watchtowers to more clearly define where they are. For the next part we're going to go into the Doodads menu, where we'll be adding a base and an uplink in the middle. Now for this we're going to use the symmetrical line, but instead of having both diagonals we're going to have top left and bottom right. Now there are a lot of doodads and you can look through them. I do not remember what I used last time, so I'll be taking a little bit to find something nice. After some searching, I found this nice prop here, and there are different types of the same prop which you can switch between by using the triangle bracket as I'm doing right here. This one doesn't have a whole lot of them, but it only has two. I'm using this one because the other one's simply too big, and you left click to place it. After some searching, I found the nice Shakuras ramp splat, which I'm going to use to place my bases. And if you look at the top left, you can see that I have turned diagonals back on. So left clicking places the base, and going over to the other side, you can see that there's two of them indeed. After placing the bases, we want to go back into the terrain module and have all four diagonals again, and fill out all our unused areas with lava. After we fill our map with lava, we want to go into the regions, select the shape, make a region around each of our two bases, name them base, and then screenshot it and put it inside a local folder. After you've screenshotted the bases, you select both of them, destroy them, and make new regions about hives and bosses, naming them appropriately. After you've named everything, you're going to have to take a screenshot of that as well. After you've done that, you can make regions around each vision tower and around the uplink and name those, screenshot them, and we'll be done with the editor. Now that we've made our region screenshots, we can go back into the units and add a unit or 5. Now that we've placed our units on the map, we want to get ourselves a recording software to make a proper video. I recommend OBS, and there's a link to it in the description for those that want it. And there are also numerous tutorials on how to use it properly. So back in the editor at the top bar, the very last one is the test document button. Clicking on it will open StarCraft 2 and load your map immediately. Now before we do anything, we want to go into the menu, go into the options and check the resolution, because sometimes it picks the largest one, which will make OBS only record 1/4 of the actual content. Returning to the game after that, we want to go over and select our first adept, which I have already done. Then we want to head out to the vision to showcase it first. Getting slowly over there. And now we can showcase our vision. Now as you can see, we can see one vision over here, which would be true for this place as well. And over on the other end, we can just not see the vision. So we send one over here, and we take our first adept off the vision again. Now that we have vision here, we can see the first hive, as well as the first boss, which we're basically standing on. And we can see the second hive over here, but we cannot see this vision, which would then be true if we were to place this adept over here. Now there's this top adept, which basically does the same as the bottom one, so we can just leave her be. And there's this adept over here, which would do the same as her, but again, it's not going to do much. Now that we've showcased half of our map, as it is symmetrical, it's going to be the same on the other half as well. So we've done enough, and we can leave the game. Leaving the game will bring you out to the main menu, where you just press quit to return to your desktop. Now that we've done the in-game showcasing of our map, we actually don't need the editor anymore, but it's a good idea to save it now, so you can use it again later in case you want to come back to it. For those that want to know more about the StarCraft 2 editor and all of its function, there's a link in the description to the official tutorial, but you can also just play around with it yourself to find out. Moving on into any video editor of your choice, I'm using Windows Movie Maker here, and there's a link in the description to it. We want to add videos and photos. Now I have a tutorial map here with all my assets that I need. After adding all your assets, you should have something like this with 3 images and a large recording file. Now this is the recording file I had from Coreside because I'm using OBS to make this video. After adding all your assets, you want to go into the top, add a title with the name of your map, and you want to continue editing from there. Now in Coreside, I didn't think of using regions this way, meaning that my regions were a lot different. You want to switch these around so it shows bases first, then hives, then vision. After placing your images in the right order, you may want to go into the animations tab and select an animation you can use everywhere. I just press the apply to all so everything has consistency. Now that we've added animations to everything, we want to edit the in-game recording. Now a bit of the first part is going to be the loading screen, basically nothing. In Corsair's case, I had a wrong resolution to start with, meaning that everything was messed up until I entered the options. So I want to look for that, and I want to look for that, and right about here is when it went back to normal. Then I want to create a split, and I want to just delete the first part because it's not usable. Going back in, editing and editing, and here I went out of the game, I think, or I did something because I'm not moving. Then I went moving over here, and in Corsair I used cyclones instead of adepts, so I selected my cyclone, and then I moved him slowly over to the vision. Now, until here, it's probably not going to be important to see, so we can create another split and delete the first part again. From here on out, I actually want to use the play to listen in on it. So far, everything looks nice, and here I'm showcasing a hive, a smaller hive, and then I'm doing the same at the bottom as well. Then I'm showcasing the unseen boss and the unseen hive in the middle. Then I'm going back up, which isn't really necessary to see. So I'm gonna pause here, I'm gonna go back, just drag this back, all the way back until I see them here at the bottom and have selected you. But when I start to move back, you can pinpoint this for yourself. Here I'm gonna make another split, then I'm gonna watch the rest to see if there's anything worth keeping. Now I don't remember if there is, so I'm just gonna speed it up. Alright, nope, here I went out, here I'm closing the game, so no, there's not. Meaning you select this and remove it. When there are special things on the map, you will want to make a split in the video and paste in a title code. For example, right here on Corsair, I made one smaller hive that once it's killed once, it never returns, which is why it's so small. So creating a little split, and adding in a title saying only level 1. Now this is just an example, and it's probably not what you'll like to see, but it helps anyway. Now before we export the video and close it, I do like having some music to always listen to. I have this Forest at Night of MP3, which I'm adding in between everything. Now potentially you could probably silence it for the video itself so you can hear the in-game music, but other than that, this is fine for me. Now after we've added this, we want to save our music. Now after we've added the music and everything's fine. Now after we've added music and checked if everything's fine. Now that we're done with the video and check the video. Now that we're done with the video, you will want to check if it's. Now that we're done with the video, you will want to check if everything is alright. After having done that, we want to export it. Now that we're actually done with the video, let's export it. Fuck you. Now that we're done with the video, we want to check it first by just watching it all the way through. For longer videos, this is. Now that we're actually done making the video, we will want to do a. Now that we're done making the video, we will want to do a quality check on it by just. Now that we're done with the video, we do want to make a quality check. Now that we're done with the video, we do want to make a quality check by just seeing it once. After that, we can export it by pressing the save movie thing. Now, I have my own settings, but you can use. Now that we're actually done with the video, we want to first of all check it if everything's alright. Now that we're done with the video, we want to check it if everything's alright first by just watching it once. Afterwards, we can export it by clicking this icon or choosing options in here. Now I have made my own ones, but for common settings, we want to use for high definition display. And then we want to go basically anywhere. I'm using my storage and recording and tutorial, and I'm saving it here. And you can name it whatever you like. Now that our movie is finished and ready for uploading, we can do another quality check on it, or we can upload it immediately. And for the creation of custom thumbnails, I recommend having a regionless image of the map and just blacking it out, writing the map name on top of that. As for the special intro in most Dropzone videos, I'm hoping it will be in the free streaming assets, but until then you can come request them from the devs themselves in the Dropzone Nation Discord, and there's a link below in the description to that as well. Thanks for watching everyone, have a nice day further. Commander Peert signing out.